The President of Zimbabwe, Comrade Honorable Mnangagwa, had a State of the Nation address. To me, it's leadership that wants to reinvent the world. As Zimbabweans, every Zimbabwean from all walks of life know what our problems are. All what is there is to come up with implementation metrics. And this business of ducking and diving, causing untold suffering for reasons beyond anybody's imagination. Having said that, he has given his ministers 100 days to achieve whatever goals he has given to them. And honestly, it's a wait and see. Because to me, chances of them achieving that, not there. Definitely not there, because since they've walked into power, all what we've seen, things have gone from bad to worse. Prices have gone up. The fuel now is becoming a problem. And the hospitals are not treating people, they are not drugged. Things are just in a mess. So I don't know whether this 100 days is when they're going to start today to correct this anomaly. So we'll wait and see. But the 100 days to implement the vote in this country will not be achievable for the 15 minutes after this.
What the minister said and what the president said in his local address, that we have to drastically deal with the fiscal deficit question. And the issues of corruption. He's still making very good pronouncements. I think now we are reaching a stage where citizens, even as members of parliament, is then to monitor implementation of those pronouncements. So that the role of citizens in parliament is to hold the policymakers to account. Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with the pronouncements that have been made and the consistency. Because our problems have been a lack of consistency in what we say. Today we say this, tomorrow is something else. But here you see consistency in the pronouncements.
Yes, I talked to a number of legislators, and some of them, mostly from the NDC, are saying is another thing, but doing something else. They are doubting whether the new dispensation will be able to walk the talk. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I believe that it's still too early for us to make those conclusions that the pronouncements are not being implemented. I think we need to give the new government time because measures that are implemented are not immediate. But like I said, I fully agree that as citizens we have now to focus on how these policies are being implemented. So it is within the right of opposition members to question at an appropriate time, fail to implement those pronouncements. Thank you.
This is now a new dispensation, and he's discussing about introducing a cocktail of policy measures which are going to revive this economy, and he's going to do that. And we're happy that he also talks and is so serious about the re-engagement and engaging also with the international community. Zimbabwe is out of the Commonwealth, and personally I would want to see Zimbabwe back into the Commonwealth. Zimbabwe, engaging with other nations so that we improve on our economy, we improve on the livelihood of our people.
Okay, maybe on another issue, Zimbabwe, we are now in a festive season, and it's a kind of a mode we are used to traveling, spending time with family and all that.
Yes.
How do you foresee this festive season like for ordinary Zimbabweans?
This is going to be the best Christmas for Zimbabweans. You know why? Because we're not going to experience any roadblocks. That's like what we have been experiencing in the past years. And also, there's going to be, I think they're going to have some kind of, the prices, the president said, the prices are going to be, basic commodities are going to go down. And not only that, I'm sure the banks are going to be able to spend some money. And also you are aware that all the civil servants are going to be paid by tomorrow, all of them. So at least this is something good for Zimbabweans. And this is the best Christmas they've ever had in about 17 or so years.
The State of the Nation address was really fantastic. I liked it very much, and that it was very comprehensive. the president talked about all sectors of our nation, sectors of the economy, and what I really like most is that he doesn't skirt around the problems. He goes to the problems head on. Take the problem of corruption, take the problem of those people that are dishonest, especially with gold mining and so forth. Take also the problem of state enterprises. So that kind of leadership is really encouraging, in that people won't doubt what they need to be doing. They won't doubt what is happening. And it's a problem-solving leadership is what really is exciting our nation today. And when it comes to women and youth, I was also very happy that we are going to be focusing on incubation, especially on the VCTs, which means all the provinces and almost all the districts, we are going to have machines that we are going to use to incubate people, from which they can now go and set up their enterprises here at their property. This will be focusing mainly on women and youth. And that all that was exciting, and the fact that the liquidity crunch is going to be improving, which is what really was a problem for most women, especially those that are in business.
Very well tailored, very well received by the joint sitting of the House, and very targeted in terms of goals and achievements. And I can assure you, it's no more going to be business as usual. We're going to get there and resuscitate our economy. That is the point of it all. We are very proud of such an address. And everybody, I think, has got a message that we shall walk the talk. It's not just the talking. We shall walk the talk. And we're very proud of the men and which was delivered.
Sona from the president was very consistent. From it talks about Zimbabwe being a country which must have honest people and honest leaders, starting with the leaders themselves. He's given his cabinet 100 days to be able to perform. In having to perform, it means also talking back to people what is going on. That's something that we are never exposed to, where a cabinet certainly did what it did and it did not report to the people. Policy inconsistency as well, he mentioned about that we've got to have a situation where we speak with one voice, the same thing, rather than saying so many things, yet what we're doing is totally wrong. And another minister saying something which is not in line with government policy is also ensured that that must happen. Corruption, key. As well, we know that there's been a leakage and it's been caused by corruption, which is really indiscipline on part of the powers be. Clearly, he's really going to hit hard on it. No, there are no sacred cows in terms of corruption in government. Equally in the land barons, which is important, especially for me as a not a legislator, that there will be zero tolerance on land barons, and that people cannot settle themselves. There must be order. In terms of clean, safe water, it is also important that people are exposed to clean, safe water, healthy water, because they have not been getting good water through the bad sanitation which is there. He also talks about the peace we enjoy in the country through Zimbabwe Defense Forces, which is critical because there's no investment that comes in without peace. The rule of law too, guaranteeing the investors their money, that intellectual property rights will be respected, and no one will do things which is outside the law of this country. And everything will be done according to the constitution, according to the laws of this country, and ultimately free, fair, credible elections. He's been talking about that all the time, meaning that the opposition must go on the ground, work hard, and not complain or speculate about things which are not on the ground. I think this is him saying, who's stopping you from campaigning? Go out and campaign. If there's any violence from the military who you say are part of this, or ZANU-PF, then let me see for myself and give me a chance to act. So he cannot act on something that has not been happening. So democracy is the barometer of any nation in terms of its maturity. He's given it to them. Free, fair, and credible elections, which is what is critical in terms of measuring our democracy as the people of Zimbabwe.
There are two different things. This is the first time President Mnangagwa has done the State of Nation address, and we'll wait and see whether he's going to be able to live by his promises, the kind of things that he promised to do with this State of Nation address, uprooting corruption, creating employment, and making sure that there is value addition. There are so many things that are incorporated into that speech. So we would want to wait and see whether he's going to be able to live by his promises. Because for now, it is difficult to judge him, because this is his first time to present the State of Nation address. So if we were to wait for 2 months, 3 months, and see whether he's going to be able to implement the kind of things that he raised. Because the problem that we've always had with our previous governments is that they say things but they don't implement.